It's pretty late right now. It's almost midnight. I just finished watching the Warriors battle the Lakers on NBA League Pass while my dog was sitting next to me. You know, I kind of felt like Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget. Anyway, that's besides the point. I was pretty excited about this game, especially after watching the game from the night before when they played and beat the team with the best record in the NBA, the Utah Jazz. I'm sure many of you guys were excited too. I mean, that Utah Jazz game just showed what this 2021 Golden State Warriors team is capable of. And with that, I think I'm going to segue into asking you to smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, and welcome back to Hoop Reports, where we hoop and report on the facts, all the facts, and nothing but the facts. So the truth about Golden State Warriors, huh? Well, there are a few truths about them. I think I'll start off with a good truth first, and that is the 2021 Golden State Warriors have all the necessary talent to win the 2021 championship. I know I've made some recent trade video situations where I think the Warriors roster can improve, but I still believe they can win it all this year with the players they currently have. That Utah Jazz game was a perfect example of what the Warriors are capable of when they have another player getting hot next to Steph Curry. Curry is averaging, close to 30 points per game this season and playing MVP level basketball. If he only had a secondary player who could grab about 25 a night, similar to what Wiggins did the other day, man, this whole season would look a lot different. So speaking of secondary players who can grab about 25 a night, the Warriors have two of them, Wiggins and Oubre. If you look at the games where individually they got about 25 per night, the Warriors have won almost all of those games. And the ones they did lose, they should have won. For example, in Kelly Oubre's two best games of the season, he scored 40 points and 27 points against the Mavericks and the Hornets. The Warriors won both of those games. In Wiggins' two best games of the season, he scored 28 and 27 points against the Utah Jazz and the Detroit Pistons. The Warriors won both of those games as well. Now, the Warriors did lose some games when one of those secondary players were playing well, but they really should have won those games. For example, when Oubre scored 25 and 26 points against the Hornets and the Magic in back-to-back games in February, the Warriors would have won that game against the Hornets if not for Draymond's double technical, plus that game-winning buzzer beater from Terry Rozier. That game against the Magic, the Warriors were up by about 13 points in the fourth quarter at one point, and really should have closed the game. Anyway, the point is when one of these two players go off, the Warriors are winning that game. Now, just imagine, guys, what if both of these players would go off alongside Curry? Well, that'd be the game, guys. Even if they didn't put up 25 or 30 a night, if they even both played just all right basketball and got about 20 points when Steph puts in his nightly average of 30, that'd still make the Warriors an elite team. On to the next point. But before that, let me pet my dog so I can feel like Dr. Claw for a few seconds. All right, that's good enough for now. Another thing I really like about the Warriors right now is that James Wiseman is finally learning to play NBA basketball. Against the Jazz, he was playing great defense. He even got that sweet block against Donovan Mitchell, then ran the floor for the easy bucket. On the offense that game, he was efficient and a force. Against the Lakers as well, early on in the game before they got blown out, he was grabbing boards and just being ferocious on the glass. And although they lost the game, I liked what I saw. The Lakers game was on a back-to-back, so I can let it slide since they played the team with the best record the night before, and then were up against the defending champions the day after. Nico Mannion and Jordan Poole played well too. After getting eaten by the Clippers, they showed what they can be against the Jazz. They're young, fast, athletic, and seem to be always playing like their life depended on it. They can shoot the ball from deep, run pick and rolls, and they can distribute the ball well. Just like Wiseman, once these two get some more experience with how to run the offense when Steph is on the bench, it's going to be scary. Draymond Green is solid on defense, which is probably why the Warriors are a top defensive team in the league. As long as he keeps his emotions in check and plays Draymond Green basketball like how he's been doing, that's going to be good enough for me. Now let's get to part 2 here. So the truth is that the Warriors can win it all this season, but the other side of the coin is that they can also be just pretty bad. To be honest, Wiggins and Oubre are the 2 X factors of this Warriors team, and rightfully so. Within all healthy players, they are the 2nd and 4th highest paid players. Although they can sometimes explode and help this 2021 Warriors team win, they can just as easily play subpar level basketball and sink this ship. There's about 30 games left on the year, and if they play like 2 to 3 good games every 10 games or so, well, that's going to be that. For the young players as well, they do have a ton of potential and can bring this Warriors team to the next level, but at the same time, if Wiseman, Poole, and Mannion don't learn to develop fast enough this season, they're just going to get eaten alive by better teams in the league, especially once they get to the playoffs. Man, I wish I could just do some cheat code or something that can get these players to always play at the best. Then it'd just be pizza and beer time as I stick my feet out on my lazy boy recliner while occasionally petting my dog with my non-eating hand. Now, the bright light at the end of these truths is the 2021-22 season. Klay Thompson will be back. Remember when I said that if another player can play good basketball alongside Steph, this whole Warriors narrative would change? Well, Klay is that guy who can consistently give over 20 a night while being just as efficient as Steph, and this guy is motivated. Klay Thompson is just about as competitive as an NBA player can be, and he's going to have a revenge year when he gets back. Similar to how LeBron had his revenge year after he failed to make the playoffs in 2019. There's a lot of pent-up energy for Klay. He recently went on air and just talked about how he's using Kevin Durant's comeback year as motivation and how he's going to return to his all-NBA level. Kevin Durant this season is averaging 43% from beyond the arc and doesn't look like he's lost a step. He's taking precautions right now with his legs, but man, he is a beast. And I hope he just plays better and better so Klay can follow in those footsteps after coming back from a devastating Achilles injury. So the 2021-22 season, I can bet some Mountain Dew that Curry is still going to be playing MVP level basketball, averaging at least over 25 points, probably about 28. Klay is going to be back and averaging about 20 points, and then we have those X factors again in Wiggins and Oubre. And to be honest, they'll probably play a lot better because the defense will have to account for both Splash Brothers. And as a result, there will be more holes than they can exploit. And then we have Wiseman. We're a bit past the halfway mark of the season, and I'm loving what I'm seeing from the number 2 overall pick. He's grabbing offensive rebounds, blocking star players, and running the floor and grabbing easy buckets. He's only just beginning too. As he improves game after game, as he gets used to playing NBA level basketball, he's going to be more of a force, and soon he'll be more on the radars of opposing teams. Eventually, when he figures out his game, opposing teams will have to do some serious game planning for him, and that'll open up Steph's game. And if the Warriors run into some elite defensive team that can cover both of them, then they'll still leave Klay Thompson open. And the last time I checked, he's never shot under 40% from the 3 in any season he's played in. I mean, I forgot to say it earlier, but I still can't believe that this dude scored 37 points in a quarter. Steph is going to have a lot more help next year, and this Warriors team is going to be looking elite. The Warriors are going to be easily the best team, if not one of the best teams in the West and the whole league for that matter. That's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The only question that's left is, can the rest of the league handle the truth?